everybody. I am so happy to be here today with you and share my second episode of Live in the Divas Den with you. I am excited to talk about today's topic, which is releasing. And when we speak of releasing, we want to make sure that we understand that releasing means to let go. And so we want to be able to learn how can we let go of the things we want to release. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I had no idea how I needed some girl time.
Oh my gosh, I missed you so much.
I know. Y'all been gone though. So tell me what's been going on now.
Well, I just got married.
I know. I see that. And I'm so happy for y'all. Definitely.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. But you know what? One thing that we've got to do, we've got to kind of spread the word to our, our fellow females and males to let them know that love is such a real thing. It's not something that we just play around with, because we've got a lot of us out there right now that's telling each other, oh yeah, I love you, but then
they don't mean it.
Exactly. Not at all. They say it, but then they go out and they play and forget about that person, and then somebody's feelings are left hurt in the back.
Yeah. Love is definitely real.
Oh, it is. And when it's real and you know it's real, you enjoy it every minute of it.
That's
so
right.
we just got to let them know, hey, love is real.
Always doing things just to bring me down. Just be a man and trying not.
Welcome back, everybody. And before we get started into our segment for today, I just want to say that I hope all of the fathers that are viewing our episode for today, I hope that you had a very wonderful Father's Day, because we have to remember Father's Day is a time to recognize the fathers that are doing a great job in the lives of their children and their children's mothers. Also, I want to thank all of those viewers that viewed episode 1. We're almost at 100. I owe it to y'all. So let's do the same thing for episode 2. Now, let me ask you, who's ready to release something? Let me tell you, I know that I have some things I need to release, and I know I have had in the past things that I needed to release. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, one of the things that I want to just enlighten you on, and remember, anything I talk to you about on this episode of my podcast is my perspective. It's what I'm feeling, and I'm not expecting anyone to go along with it, but I would hope that it might help anyone that really might be in a tough spot about, dealing with the topic that we're going to talk about. So please, whatever you do, don't feel pressured to take anything that I'm saying and use it. It's totally up to you. So let's get down to business right now about releasing. First, we've got to know, what does releasing mean? Well, releasing means to let go. Just what it says, to let go. And when we let go of anything, that means that we're not going to revisit it again. We're just going to totally just break apart, break away from it. No matter how it ended, just leave it the way it is. We have to remember the things that we release are for our own good. Now, first of all, it's really important that when you release your feelings, you have to remember that we have feelings that are inside of us, and we also have feelings that sometimes show up on the outside of us. But it is important that we release our feelings by, guess what? By telling our stories. And in order to tell our stories about anything that we're trying to release, we have to have the confidence to do that. That means that we don't need validation coming from anyone to tell our stories. Because remember, our story is our story. It is how we see things taking place with us and not how others are seeing. So we have to remember that. And the biggest part of what I just said is no validations. You don't need somebody to tell you, release, or tell your story. You just need to go ahead and tell your story. Now, one of the other things that is really, really important to releasing, any of your feelings that you have inside of you or on the outside of you is that these are your personal feelings. So, of course, these personal feelings are going to make you think not once, not twice, but it may make you think almost 3 times over. It may even play with you a little while. You know what I mean? To try to convince you not to tell your story. But I am here to tell you that telling your story is one of the best ways that you could release whatever it is that has happened to you and that is bothering you. It's almost like when you release it, you're taking the stress off of you. And we all know that stress is a number one killer. And so we don't want to put ourselves through that. We want to make sure that we simply just say, okay, this happened. Yes, it hurt me. Yes, I want to release it. Why? Because I can't do a damn thing about it anyway. Nothing. There's nothing that you can do. Because when you force an issue on someone or you force them to see things your way, it only makes it worse. And you don't want to do that. You want to release very, very smoothly and very, very calmly. Now, another important point from what I just said is, and I hope somebody caught this. If you didn't, maybe you can catch it this time. It's your personal feelings. So who gives a rat ass if somebody sits there and says, that didn't happen? Oh, I don't like that. You know why? Knock, knock. Guess what? It's your personal feelings. So you don't worry about anyone else. We have to just remember that our personal stories or our personal feelings, they create some of the best stories, and they can give you a real good feeling to the ending of something tragic that might have happened to you. So when releasing your feelings, remember, don't lie to yourself. Tell the truth, because the truth are the facts, and they are the facts that's going to get you to realize, you know what? I should have left that alone a long time ago. Instead, what did we do? We continued to keep looking for that validation to get us to say, okay, now I know. Now I can go ahead and tell my story. Why? Because you listen to somebody else. Don't listen to someone else when it's time for you to tell your story. Just tell it. Remember, the truth and the facts make a damn good story. And that story is a true story. So we want to remember that we begin telling our story and we begin releasing anything that we need to release by thinking about something that has been holding on to us for a long time. I know there's lots of feelings that, I've been holding on for a long time, but I had to learn, that's just the way it is. Life is like that. We think and we think and we think, but we can only think to a certain point. We have to remember all of those things that we're thinking that's holding us down. Guess what? It's only keeping us strapped and bound from moving on to the best part of life that is out there waiting for us. So, one of the things I want you to remember and to take away with you is telling your stories shapes how we, and I say we because I'm talking about myself as well, how we see ourselves and how the world sees us and our inner feelings. Because a lot of times, have you ever heard people say, she's wearing it on her? You can see it. That means that you're worrying just that much and hanging on to those bad feelings that you've been harboring inside of you until people can see it. That means they can see you're not happy. And being happy is one of the best things that anybody could ever do for themselves. So, when it comes to our inner feelings, excuse me, let me just clear this up with you. Our inner feelings are the feelings no one on the outside can see, which leads them to giving their perspective because they can't see it. So they're going to, of course, tell you, oh, why don't you forget about it? It's over. Just leave it alone. They're saying that because they're not the person that's hurting inside or that's scarred inside. So, of course, they can't see that. Only you see it. And what it does to you is it begins to make you feel like, you know what? Ain't a damn person out there listening to what I'm saying. There is not a damn person that cares about what I'm saying. So if nobody out there is caring, somebody's got to care. And that somebody has got to be you. If you don't care about yourself and how you feel, no one else will. And again, that's called loving yourself. If you can care about yourself, you're loving yourself. Don't let anyone deter you away from doing that because then you'll never release those inner feelings. We also might not be able to see a lot of things ourselves. It's kind of like, you've heard people say before, you got to go through it in order to be able to recognize what you need to do. That's sometimes we got to hit a brick wall first before we can really realize, you know what, girl, you should have released them feelings a long time ago. So do yourself a favor. Don't harbor those inner feelings anymore. Take those inner feelings and do something with them. It's almost like somebody giving you $1 million to tell you, take that $1 million and do what you need to do best for yourself. And that is tell your story. If you need somebody to tell your story to, I can definitely give you a great recommendation. All right, guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be right back. We're going to be right back. Bye. Man, I just don't know. I don't know what's going on with me. Nothing just seems right. Nothing. I just don't know. Oh my gosh, I just don't know. Oh, I just don't know. I don't know. It's just something. Is it my age? What is it? I don't know what is going on with me. Oh, I just don't know. What am I going to put on today? Oh my God, I have choices and choices. But what am I going to put on today that's going to make me feel good? That's going to make me look like I want to look? What in the hell am I going to put on today? Oh, Beautiful spells beautiful. I feel beautiful. Beaiful spells beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful than you and me. I am beautiful. I am a queen on my own throne. God made me just who I am. Guys, feeling beautiful is something that every woman should feel. And just remember, when you feel beautiful, it's not that you always have to have on something that really looks beautiful, but it's how you feel in the inside and how humble you are with other people. That's what shows how beautiful you are.
Welcome to my kitchen. Cooking in the kitchen with John. I got my pots on the stove, all steamed up. Well, let me go to work now. Let me put on my apron. Got to get it together, because you know when I get to the kitchen, I don't stop. Got to put on the apron here, making sure it's all right. And guess who's back there helping me? Y'all know, the missus. Thank you. How do I look? I'm kind of fancy. Check me out. Well, now it's time for me to check on my pots. I got my turkey necks in there. They're steaming pretty good. Yeah, they looks good. Smell good too. Let me just check in the box. I might need something. Okay. Let me check on this other pot here. Making sure that the grease is getting all warmed up. Ready for my Trinity, my celery, my bell pepper, and also my garlic. Oh, forgot to tell you, the onion has to go too. That's me getting the Trinity together, cutting my celery, and also making it nice and neat, cutting the bell pepper, just the second part of my Trinity. Remember, I got the two-part Trinity, three-part Trinity that's going to be there. It's going to also be the garlic and also the onion.
All right, guys, we're back for the last portion of our show. And I know I was talking so much that my throat was getting dry, but I wanted to make sure that I actually gave you facts and not gave you something that was a bunch of bull. So, to add to what I said, when we were talking about our inner feelings, I want to just kind of give you an example of how I went through my inner feelings to just let you know that it won't just be you, but I've been through this too, and I'm sure there's many other people that have been through it as well. When I was writing my first book, Breaking Chains, I dealt with my inner feelings. I knew everything that I wanted to talk about, and I knew it was going to be true and it would be facts. So I had a real difficult time releasing my inner feelings. It was playing with me. Remember, I mentioned in the last segment, I said, your inner feelings might sometimes play with you. That means, just keep tricking you, making you think, yeah, should I do this? Should I not do that? Those types of things. And so one of the things that I was dealing with was I had fear about my family that really could have cared less about me, not liking the facts that I was presenting in my book. But you see, those facts that I presented in my books, those were facts that carried me through my childhood to an adulthood. So I wanted to make sure that I told the truth about them. So that was one way that my inner feelings was playing around with me. And I learned just from that, I learned that I had to try to separate my hurt my inside bruises, my anger that led me to releasing those inner feelings that I had been having inside of me for years, many years, without releasing my feelings outward. In other words, when I say outward, that means without me going into a rage and say, you know what, I want to beat your ass right now. You know, I want to just take you and just shake you for what you did to me. Look at what you caused me to do. You know, look at how my life, how I have to deal with things now. But instead, I wanted closure. Closure for me, not for them, but closure for me. And so the way for me to get the closure was for me to stop being vulnerable, stop needing validation to tell my story, and just tell the story. And you know what? That's what I did. I told my story in a book called Breaking Chains, which you can find on Amazon. Just go to Amazon and purchase it, and you'll see that I am giving you facts, not fiction. Okay? So, in my closing thoughts, I just want to leave you with, in order to release the pain, the negative feelings that you may have, you're going to remember that you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need to put on your big girl or big guy panties. And you're going to need encouragement, which means find a friend, find a relative that's going to listen to what you have to say. You need confidence, and you need to stay confident. And the way to stay confident is stay prayed up. That's what you do. Because remember, you don't owe anything to anybody. And then you need to love yourself enough to be honest with yourself and feel like you belong and that you are important. And that's something that a lot of us lack. We may not want to say it, but I'm saying it for you because that was some of the things that I was lacking. This will allow you to belong where you need to be, and you will see how important you are. So just remember, doing all of the things I just said will allow you to never, ever be left with unanswered questions that leave you searching for closure. And again, guys, this is Deborah Ware. This was episode 2. I have enjoyed sharing my journey with you, and I just want to make sure that everybody remembers, please go and subscribe and view my channel so that we can continue to go beyond the 100 views that we have. I love you. I can't wait to see you again for episode 3. Bye, everybody.